Welcome back, guys. Gatlin here from CarPhonix. Welcome to I think it's Wednesday today. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday is the day today, and I'm starting a little bit late in the day here on my video, but that's okay. I got this 4Runner behind me here. We're going to be doing a full-fledged Clifford alarm and remote starter combo on this bad boy, and I'm just in the midst right now of programming up this, and for some reason, every single ATTN module that I get, I always have to, I always have to completely update the module for some reason or another before I can even get started. So this is a 2017 Toyota 4Runner. Toyota, we're going to say it's a 16 because the 17s don't show up on here. I don't know why it says Volkswagen. I don't want Volkswagen. I want Toyota. 2016 Toyota 4Runner, which is there, and it is a standard key 80-bit 6-cylinder SUV, and we're doing remote starter security combo. It's going to ask the brand, and we're going to say it's a Clifford, and I believe, let me just go double check what model this bad boy is. It is a 5706X, and we'll go ahead now and type that in, 5706X, boom, and then it gives us the protocol on here for DBI, data link to DBI, and then we'll go ahead and flash this. I don't believe this is a clone car. By clone, you usually have to clone a key. Alright, exit out of that. So this is our remote starter here, and I've already pre-wired this whole thing here, and just, you know, kind of one nice clean elephant trunk wiring. It says that the flashing is complete, so we'll go ahead and unplug this, and we'll just leave the data connector unplugged for now. So this is how I do most of my remote starters and my alarm systems before I even put them in the car. Part of the whole deal is just making sure that it's nice and clean as possible before it gets into the car. So, you know, that will go underneath of the dash, and then I've predetermined where all the lengths of the wires are going to be going before they go in the car. So I am now ready to take apart the car and get things organized. Before that, I installed, let me just grab a light here. Grab this one here. Alright, this is this new light I got from Matco. Not so sure how I feel about this light. I don't like the charge port. I had 3 of these things, but slowly but surely over the course of the last couple of years they've been dying on me, and I kind of liked that I could just, you know, plug them in, and it was just like one of these, you know, small little connectors here. I thought that was kind of handy, but now it's this one, and it's got like a proprietary like mini HDMI connection there and its own separate charger, and I'm not really too sure how I feel about that. So in any case, I was going to show you under the hood of this car, and we'll just turn this on. Whew, it's bright. So we did a battery backup siren on this thing. The reason why the customer requested that, I guess, is maybe if his battery gets disconnected, the alarm will still be able to go off, so that's kind of cool and handy. It's got like a little key port here with a set of keys that you can put in there to turn the valet on or off, depending if someone's going to be disconnecting the battery to work on the vehicle. So I've already wired up here. It's supposed to go to constant power. I did a solid ground there on the chassis, and then this wire hanging out right here is just for the trigger for the alarm. So when I run the alarm wire out, or the siren wire out, it'll get connected to that. And then of course any remote starter always gets the warning badge that goes on the engine bay, just so mechanics know when you know, if there's a remote starter or not on the vehicle. And let's try and shut off this damn light. Before I get started on that, I want to show you guys over here something that looks a little bit different over here. I've organized things so I can start working on Shifty here in the next day or so, and basically, like I had mentioned to you guys, I just need to go ahead and get the interior put back together. I bolted down the seat there so I could drive it inside, but just a couple of minor things we need to do here yet under the hood, and one is drive a 4-gauge power cable from here inside the cab, and then run all this wiring here that's beside the car right now inside the cab, and then we can start reassembling the interior. but I know that a lot of you guys were kind of curious about why there was so much crap hanging around on the vehicle. So I've now organized everything so I can get things situated on this. Everything that he had in the truck is going on this shelf here, and is going to get nice and organized, and stuff is going to be out of the way. So now I have tons of room to work on this thing, front and back, which is nice. There was a lot of crap in this bay. I had my boat here, I had, you know, my car in this bay, I had a washer and dryer over here so I can wash all my rags, I had, you know, Damien's motorcycle hoist, and all that stuff. It had to go. So this is the makings of the beginning of the center console, and it's ready to go. So basically we get the interior back together, get all this stuff that's in the back of the truck back into the car, and then get the wiring basically, you know, in the center of the center console here, ran up so I can start building my relay box here, and get things ready. So I got my 300 over here back in the bay, and I got my charger on it as well. I'm not sure what's draining the battery on this thing. You know, it's an old car, and I think it's one of the door switches or something, because if I don't drive it for more than, I want to say, a week, the battery goes flat. So I have to figure that out, maybe put a quick disconnect on the battery, or just find what the actual problem is with it. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking apart this Toyota and get all the panels removed so I can start installing the remote starter and the alarm system. And once I've done that, I'll hit you back. See you in a bit. Alright, so if there's any time to disconnect a battery, it's always when you're working under the dash of a vehicle. You never know. So the negative has been disconnected off of the battery, and I've now removed all the panels out of the vehicle, and we've had to kind of drape down the airbag, the bolster airbag there. So if you're ever taking that down, you just want to unbolt it. And I tend to try not to disconnect these airbags if I can. I like to make sure that I'm grounded as well, so I don't create any static electricity. But I've got the ignition wiring all laid out there. Just gonna switch on my light here. There we go, shine some light on the situation. And I'm pretty much now ready to go ahead and start laying in my remote starter brain and laying out all the wiring. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so got this whole thing installed and programmed and ready to go now. So there's our remote starter brain up underneath the dash here, nice and tucked away and clean and organized. So 2 cords here go to the dash, and then all this is just nicely tucked up behind the dash here, and looks real nice and clean. Got to mount my valet switch on the panel once we're in that stage, and now we're gonna put this thing back together, and I'll show you what it looks like after. Alrighty, so this thing's all done here. I got my one-way remote here. It's actually a 2-way standard remote, but just doesn't have an LCD display like this one does here. This one's just being left on charge, but you can pretty much get the idea. If you lock it, it'll give you a lock symbol. If you unlock it, it'll give you an unlock symbol. And then if you go ahead and remote start it, tells you that it's remote started, and then the vehicle will start. Right? Now, I'm just going to shut this bad boy down here for the time being. And that shuts it down there. The keypad can go into lock mode there. So we'll go ahead and test out the alarm functions here. So it should be armed. We'll just go ahead and arm it one more time. And you can arm and disarm it from the factory alarm as well, which is kind of the factory key fob, which is kind of neat, I think. So you can go lock, and then it'll unlock through the factory fob, but we'll go ahead and arm it here with the factory fob, and test out our shock sensor just to make sure it's all kosher. Oh, maybe I didn't program it. Okay, so I did program it. I just, you have to wait till the factory alarm is also armed. So there's that little LED right here. You can kind of see it pulsing, you know, on and off there, on and off. You have to actually wait until it arms itself. And then the aftermarket alarm will arm it. It's all done through data, which is kind of neat. So once the factory alarm arms, the aftermarket alarm will coincide with that, talk to it and say, okay, we're both armed at the same time, and then the shock sensor will then become active. I didn't realize that there, so now that that's off, we can go ahead and, you know, give it a little shock. And, you know, that's the idea, right? Is you want this thing to have a pretty good heavy hit on it, and, you know, mimic something like a broken window. And on the aftermarket alarm key fob here says, you know, sensor 2, you know, going off or what have you. It vibrates and makes all sorts of fun sounds and stuff too. That way it can let you know. So this one's all done, it's all wrapped up, and I think that's gonna be it for the day, guys. Damien is still not here. He will be back tomorrow, so that's kind of awesome. Thank God for that. He gave me an update on his power stroke. I guess he was having some issues with it, getting it all apart. He handed the turbo to his dad, and his dad's like, oh, I totally got it, and then just totally dropped the turbo on the ground and seized it up. So I think he has to have that thing rebuilt, but he will be back tomorrow, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys subscribing, and don't forget to like the crap out of this video. That's all I can say, guys. 15,000 subscribers. We'll go ahead and do another giveaway. After a certain amount of time, the alarm behind me will auto rearm. But for the giveaway, we're going to give away another piece of product out of this pile here. And I'll go ahead and turn that light on. So, you know, you guys have a choice of amplifiers, woofers, speakers, you name it, right? So, all right, guys. And, you know, don't forget to subscribe. CarPhonix signing out. Have a great day, guys.